French ladies. That's not what this video is about. To the kitchen. So I don't have an apron. Welcome to the Q&A. So first question is, what are you most excited for in 2023? I think that like one of the things I'm most excited for is to really just like discover what my life is. This is the first time like I would say that I'm living in a place that I'm completely and utterly obsessed with. I am planning my own routine. Like my life isn't being dictated by a lot of forces, being like very self-driven. So I'm excited to see kind of what that means. How do I want to show up as whatever version of myself that I'm showing up as? Next question is, how are you able to make so many friends? I just keep failing at friendships. I think I've been very lucky and blessed with my relationships, especially since a lot of my friends are my family. So kind of like by default, for a long time, you have to be my friend. Like I see you at every single family function. But I also think that I know how to zone my friends. And so this is a concept that I learned from Pastor Holly Fertig in her book / study guide thingy. It's called BFF. And what was it called? I forgot what. Being friends that fit. Best friends that fit. And in it, she was just basically saying that you might be looking at somebody as like your best friend in the world, and you're like giving them a high rating in your life, like you're telling them all your secrets, you're giving them, I can't remember what her zones were, but something along the lines of you making them your zone 5 friend. So you're confiding them. For you, those are your best friends, but that person only sees you as a zone 3 friend. So the things that they're telling you, how they're interacting with you, is given very much zone 3. And so the relationship isn't growing the way it should be growing because they don't see you as their best friend, right? And you do. And it causes a lot of heartbreak when you have expectations on people that they cannot measure up to. And it will save you a lot of time if you actually look for your zone 5 friends than constantly trying to pour your zone 5 energy into a friend that should be zone 3. Like, you have so much love to give, you have so much friendship and so much joy to share with the world, and you're wasting it on somebody who doesn't see you as like a zone 5. And it's not to say that you cut off the zone 3 friends, right? The whole point of zoning is just so mentally you can know where you stand in people's lives and then act accordingly. And I don't know what it was, but when I understood that concept, I'm like, boy. And if you see like somebody that you want to improve your relationship with, or you kind of like, you like them, you like how they think, you like how they are, and you want to be better friends with them, actually reach out. Like my friend Nas called me today. I freaking love Nas. And Nas is like, I just want you to know, I've called you the last 2 times. Like, you haven't been the one that called me. And I was like, oh no, you're right. Now, in my head, I was gonna call her eventually. I just haven't gotten to it. Now, it's on my priority list. Because I'm like, this is a girl that I want to be my friend forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Where's this wig from, please? I don't know if this is like a bad question of like where my wig is from, or this is good. If it's good, I will link it in the description box below. I have garlic powder, ginger, and chili powder. Next question. I've been trying to settle into my new house. So I don't know if you guys have seen my moving in video. I just released it on Tuesday. So literally the last video that I posted. And I've just been settling into my new house. I'm excited to formulate a routine and actually have something that I do every single day. Okay, another question is, what are you doing abroad? What do you mean? I live here. Masters. I will. This isn't looking like how I thought I wanted it to look, so I'm gonna add a little bit of water to it. I can feel you judging me, and I don't like it. I've got the magic in me. Let's try my food. How many countries have you traveled to? I use the app BINGE to track the countries that I've traveled to. I have been to a whopping 24 countries. I freaking love watching couples, and I'm of like two minds, and maybe you guys can help me sort it in the comment section down below. But like, you have to let me know what you think from the perspective of a creator, not a perspective of a viewer. I'll give you an example of something that pissed me off, and it's like, it's very telling of like the internet. When Jordan kissed Tristan, it's a Kardashian story, just in case you're like, who the hell are these people? When Jordan kissed Tristan, her best friend's sister's man, Jordan and Kylie, who was the best friend, ended up breaking up like friendship wise, and like it was a whole mess and drama on the internet. Like it was the biggest drama at the time, right? Till today, Jordan is still being harassed. Jordan can go on a live about her clothes, about her fitness. She even has a new man. Still, somebody in the comment section say, Jordan, why did you do that to Kylie's sister? I don't want to bring somebody onto my channel in my space in the capacity of somebody who's in a relationship with me, only for them to leave, for people in the comment section to be like, oh, why did he go? Oh, we liked him. Oh, we even liked him better than you. I don't know. So that's half of me. Worst case scenario, I'm being bullied for something that was supposed to bring me joy and bring everybody on the channel joy. Another part of me is like, I don't want to have to hyper watch my life to make sure that my partner's face isn't showing in the story. Another half of me is like, I want to live my life. Something as private, self-affirming, and growing as a relationship needs to be figured out offline before anything online is ever brought to it. Half of me is like, it's gonna be so fun. Like, we can do challenges, we can shoot videos. And the other half of me is like, why don't I just do like a Casey Neistat? And like, he'll be in the vlogs, you just won't see his face, which is like a good middle ground. But it's also like, oh, why do I have to think of him turning his face each time the camera's on me? Again, I really want to hear what you guys think in the comment section down below. But I don't want you to answer this like you are a viewer. Answer this like, if this was your career, will you show your man? What is the best advice you'd give to a new YouTuber? Oh my gosh, am I old now? Yeah. Consistency. Consistency, consistency, consistency. Show up as whatever version of YouTube you are. You keep on trying new things, and then you see what's good for you, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. How big of a nerd are you, 1 to 10? I really want to be a bigger nerd. I don't think I'm as smart as I want to be. Like, I want to be that sis that like reads a book and like can read more than a page of a non-fiction book and not want to put it away. Right now, I'm failing miserably. This is chaos, and I think I'm full. What is it like having friends who do the same thing? Like you, example, Marintia. And what tips can you give on friendship? Ooh, such a cute question. I love it. I love friends that do the same thing as me because I am such a like people follower. Like for the most part, I think I'm a very individualistic person. But for the most part, I freaking love hanging around people and just like going with the flow and just doing what everybody is doing. Like I can't be bothered to do my own thing unless like I feel strongly about it. But apart from that, I'm like chill. So having friends that do YouTube as well is just lovely because it's like, oh, okay, we're going to Ivory Coast, we're going to go shoot a video. I'm like, I bet. I just want to be around you and I like doing YouTube, so let's marry both of it and it works together. I mean, I love it. I love seeing people thrive on YouTube. I love seeing people create, and so for me right now, I'm happy. How to overcome being body shamed and insecurity. First of all, if anybody is body shaming you, I don't know who you are, but I am so sorry for people being so mean. I think people that mean are just not nice people. I think that's what mean means, right? I don't know where you come from, but sometimes body shaming is embedded in like certain cultures. So in Ghana, growing up, when you're skinny, they'll call you chingalingi. So like, I was like a stick. At one point in my life, I was really hearing that rhetoric. On the other hand of your life, if you're big, they would love, a lot of people would love for you to know that you're obolo, you are large. And in terms of how you overcome that, I think that you need to come to a place in your life where you own you. I just feel like the best way I can explain it is like, okay, so what do you want me to do? I'm fat, so I'm skinny. So I know it's really, really tough. It's not easy, especially if you're in a space where people are constantly telling you about what your body should look like. But I think that at this point you can't change anything, can you? So show up as whatever version of yourself that you are, and know that that version can coexist with the version of yourself that you want to change. Wow, I'm really preaching to myself. Okay, show up as who you are, because you actually can't do anything about it today, right? So you might as well own it, because you can try and eat as much food as you want. It's not going to be today that you gain weight. You can try and cut your diet as fast as you want in one day. It's not going to change anything. So you might as well understand what your goals are. If you have goals, if your body is exactly where you want it to be, then bro, all the people that are talking, please, like, find a way of feeding your brain messages that you think empower you, instead of messages that will make you feel insecure. So for example, if you are watching shows where all you see are supermodels and all you see are these body types, and you feel like your body cannot be that way, or like you find that there's a lot of like jealousy or envy in your heart, don't watch those shows anymore. Same with Instagram pages. Don't follow those pages anymore. Don't watch those YouTube videos anymore. That's if that is what is triggering you to think like that. If it's at home, it's gonna be a little bit more tricky. It's like, how do you navigate those spaces and avoid those conversations as much as you can? Every home is kind of different for that conversation. If it's friends, then you need to start thinking, how am I getting more friends? If it's your boyfriend, if it's your girlfriend, if it's your partner, whatever, you need to navigate how am I either having a very important conversation with that person about what I like and what I don't like, or how I can start to distance myself from that relationship because it's not making me feel my best. You know, it's about navigating through how can I get away from the toxic voices first, but not just toxic voices. I actually heard Tim Ross talk about this. I'm gonna try and insert the clip here. And he was talking about how like a lot of churches talk about like starving yourself from this, starving yourself from that, but essentially starving yourself is not just, it's not the end of the solution.
When people say, so how do I die? What is their most common answer? What's the most common answer we hear? The only way to die, starve your flesh. That is terrible.
Please take over from here, Prez.
Advice.
I already know where you're going. Please, sir.
Try and starve your flesh, and what will you do? Create more appetite.
You're going to be hungry?
You're going to create more of an appetite. What's the fastest way to starve, to kill my flesh? Feed my spirit.
That's exactly right.
Feed me, Seymour.
That's exactly right.
Feed my spirit.
That's right.
Get those chapters. Get that time.
Yes.
And then I have such an appetite for this that it crowds out the old hunger for that.
And I think that a lot of people say, okay, so remove all of these, unfollow. But it's like, in the midst of unfollowing, are you actually feeding yourself with the right resources in the right spaces? So I feel like in terms of insecurities and in terms of body shaming, the first thing you need to do is identify where all of that is coming from. It might come from inside, where you're like, I just don't feel good enough. I just don't feel like I'm healthy enough. Okay, so we know how we want to work with that. You don't feel like you're healthy enough. Okay, why don't you feel like you're healthy enough? All of these things, right? That's why you see so many people go on weight loss journeys, so many people go on fitness journeys, and they eat the worst foods, end up losing the weight, and they're still like, I'm skinny and I hate myself, right? Or vice versa. You're trying to gain weight, you're doing all of it through like junk food and everything. It's not the healthiest method. You gain the weight, you're like, I hate myself now, right? Because it's about the method of, it's about the journey of how you get to where exactly you're trying to get to. Is so important. So the same with overcoming body shaming and overcoming insecurity is about, first of all, are you removing those toxic things from the space that you're in, but also how you feeding yourself with confidence. Are you learning any new languages? Yes, I am learning Spanish, since I have technically not finished learning Spanish since I was 11 years old. I'm also trying to be better at my language, so my mom's and my mom's family's language, which is a Ghanaian language called Ewe. Oh my gosh, okay. You said we should ask, so I'm asking, how do you fund all your trips? Because you travel. Or that's how it looked from your videos. Nubuke is in USA today. I go drink water and come. She's in Ghana. Then right after I blink, she's near UK. This is so funny. Okay, so that's a very important question. The first thing I need to talk about is I don't have to pay for visas because I actually have a British passport and a Ghanaian passport. And I think that is one thing that people like overlook when they're looking at like traveling. A lot of people have to pay for so many visa applications. By the time you finish paying for the visa applications, that's already another cost. You need to pay for the transport to the airports and everything. So I have a British passport and a Ghanaian passport. So that's one of the ways that I cut costs. I travel so much because I live in England now. Bear in mind, when I was in Ghana, I didn't travel as much. I was traveling when I was in Ghana. I also had like multiple jobs that I'd been saving for. Just put it into perspective, from 2019 to 2020, just to kind of think of the jobs that I've done and then being able to save during the pandemic. I was a student ambassador for my university, a brand ambassador for I worked in a grocery shop. I did a summer camp job for 3 months. I did 2 different summer camp jobs. One of them was in England and then the other one was in Italy. So if you can also look for employment where they pay you to travel, that's also good. One summer camp job was in Italy. I did like creative consultancy for like a shapewear company at a point. Then I moved to England. I worked for an agency and then I did a little bit of YouTube. So then I got a little bit of some coins on the side from that. And when you combine all of them, there's a substantial amount of money that you can use to travel. That being said, that's definitely my multiple streams of income that have been funding my traveling, as well as who am I to fight if somebody says they want to fly me somewhere? Am I a joker? If somebody wants to pay, no problem. Am I a joker? If you want to pay, you want to pay. But yeah, travel within Africa is terrible. It is terrible. Like, I remember I had saved so much money and then we spent it on Ivory Coast and I was back to ground zero. And then obviously because I moved to the United Kingdom, travel in Europe is so cheap for this amount of prices. Don't tell me if you had the opportunity yourself, you won't travel. Bro, thank you so much for clicking on this video and for asking me these questions. I'm super excited. Like, I hope like some of the advice helped. Let me know if you have any other questions in the comment section down below, and I'm actually gonna go in there and answer the questions as well. I love you.
I just might be a black Bill Gates in the making. So watch this space. Watch this space.